सद्गुरु श्री गजानन महाराज की जय. Namaskar. I am Atul Kokardekar. I feel blessed to present the English Pothi of Shri Gajanan Maharaj. With Maharaj's blessings, I hereby start. Sadguru Shri Gajanan Maharaj ki jai. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Jai to you, consort of Rukmini, resting on the banks of Chandrabhaga river. Please bless me in this endeavor. You are the King of Kings, in charge of everything. Then why do you ignore me? Let your kind grace destroy my sins and anxieties. Lend me cheer to sing your glory. In this way I am not blessed. It is you who will be solely blamed. Such blemish should not come on thee. O Sham Sundar, consort of Rukmini, O Pandurang of Pandharpur, Vithoba on Chandrabhaga river, please fulfill my desire. After the Nirvana of Shri Gajanan Maharaj, people said there is nothing left at Shegaon. A sea without water or a bower without flowers lose their charm. They thought it is useless going to Shegaon, like offering flowers at the temple without God. So many said that, but it was wrong. The invisible flame of Maharaj is still immortal in Shegaon. Though Naneshwar Maharaj attained Samadhi on the banks of river Indrayani, he did meet there many devotees. Like that, Shri Gajanan Maharaj gives darshan to those who came along, believing that he exists in Shegaon. Here follows the incidents of Ganpat Kothade, a staunch devotee of the great Santa. Kothade worked as an agent at Shegaon branch of Rayali Company. Every evening he would go to the Sant Samadhi. He would sit there for some time in meditation for mental satisfaction. One evening he thought that on Dasera day he should perform Abhishek worship and offer food to Brahmins at the temple. He made all arrangements accordingly and bought necessary provisions and groceries. His wife didn't like it and said, "Sir, what are you doing? This is a West. Tomorrow is a Vijayadashmi festival. Get new clothes for the children. All this spending on Abhishek and Brahmins will not bring you anything. We have children to feed. I don't have an ornament to wear. Does this beat a householder? We have also to save our future." Ganpat did not like this advice. He told her that caring for others ranks higher than demand of domestic life. The same night Maharaj appeared to her in a dream. "Don't harass your husband anymore. Let him do what he likes. This would bring you no loss. Don't have love and attachment for transient things. All the possessions will dissipate. Your deeds alone will be never abet. Abhishek and feedings are good actions. These deeds involve sacrifice in the form of service to others. Expenses on such fetes are never a waste. It is like a seed sown in the earth. So take my advice. I tell you not to obstruct him." With counseling like this, ended her precocious dream. Next morning, she told her husband this, who was happy at occurrence. He advised her to have full faith in the continuing existence of the Santa. He asked her to believe that all things, including children, asset and precious gold, belong to Maharaj in his fold, and she should stop worrying about this. Ganpat celebrated Dasara with the worship of Maharaj and a feast to Brahmins as envisaged. His faith in the Sant was more sublime with these incidents in his life. Now to the experience of Lakshman Hari Janjal. He was a devotee of Shri Gajanan Maharaj. He went to Mumbai for some business with a mind disturbed by domestic problems. At the time of returning at Boribandar station, he saw Saga with long arms and concentration. He was chanting the name of God and slowly he approached Lakshman. He asked, "Why do you look so frustrated when you are a devotee of Gajanan Sant? Do you remember the food made on the death anniversary? It was for 400 guests at Amravati. That time their teacher Bapat had lost his son. Yet with Petkar, he did come to partake in the prasad. It was due to Maharaj. He had appeared in their dreams to say they should join your gatherings. Have you forgotten all this?" Lakshman was confused with all this rendering. He wondered who this man could be. With respect, the bow to the Sega, who suddenly disappeared in a moment. When Lakshman returned, he amended his behavior and performed the anniversary every year. Sri Gajanan Maharaj had met Avdut Jairam Khedkar of Rahit Sahit village in the grave of Sant Madhav Martan Joshi, a government officer, once came to Kalam, Kasur village all the way for a land survey. It was Thursday. Being a devotee of Maharaj, he desired to visit Shegaon. He told his peon Kutumbuddin to get ready with the bullock cart. Kutumbuddin humbly told Joshi that the weather was nasty. Man River was flooded with muddy water. Ignoring this request, Joshi got the cart. He asked Kutumbuddin to drive to Shegaon. This cart entered the river and soon was filled with gushing water before they could cross over. A storm combined with lightning and thunder to roar, filling the river's man's flood. Many huts around were uprooted. Kutumbuddin was frightened of death. Joshi too was scared. He started praying to the Sant from amidst this natural calamity. With folded hands he said, "O Gajanan, no one except you can save us now." Scriptures describe a Sega saving a sinking boat by just touching it at the sea. You too, Sri Gajanan, have similar powers. Kindly extend your hands and save me. Water entered the cart and the bullock got frightened. Joshi told Kutumbuddin to leave the reins and pray to Maharaj to come and help us. O powerful Maharaj, our lives are in your hands. Do as you like, take us or save us. Reins of the cart were thrown aside. Both of them closed their eyes. Then a miracle came over. The cart had safely crossed the river and was standing on the other shore. Both of them were glad at the marvel. They were happy to experience the authority of Maharaj who saved them from the calamity, saved from the dreadful plague. They reach Shegaon at night. They go down at the Samadhi. After joining the procession, Joshi offered money to feed Brahmins as per his vow and left Shegaon on his routine journey. Yadav Ganesh Subedar was a cotton broker at Hingani. Once he lost rupees 10,000 in brokerage money. His health and well-being dwindled completely. He tried his best to re-establish himself and recover the loss, but he fell completely. During that period, he went to Wardha to his friend Asirkar, where at the door came a beggar. He was garbed in Maharashtrian attire, had a big stick in his hand and a dirty headgear. He was shaking like an old man. Looking at him, Asirkar got mad and yelled out at him to get to the back door. There was a chance of getting alms there. He said, "Don't come here anywhere near." The beggar completely disobeyed the order. He stepped up and sat near Subedar and held his bowl in his front for alms, said, "Please spare some coins for me if you can." Subedar wondered at the audacity of the man. He started at the beggar who looked like Maharaj. The man had the same gleam in eyes and style of talk. The only difference was that this person was shaking with some unknown disturbance. His features too were like the sun. This made Subedar think a moment. How can he be the Maharaj who took Samadhi long back? Whatever be the state, I will give him money as to the Sant. The beggar took the dole and asked for more, reminding him to hand out jaggery as he had vowed. He said that the loss in business was because of no fulfillment of the commitment. Yadav gave him some money, but he asked for more. Yadav spared a handful coins for the old man's vow. At this time, Asirkar went inside, leaving them alone. The beggar said, "Don't have qualms about the Santa. Remove your clothes. You are like a son to me. All your ailments will vanish as I look at your body." The beggar moved his hand over Yadav's person. This was the time Asirkar returned. The beggar who was there disappeared. Subedar tried to locate him thereafter, but couldn't see him anywhere. Yadav guessed that he was Maharaj. He thought it was an auspicious augury, and he would be blessed with a lot of money. His carts loaded with cotton came to Wardha for a sale on the same date. He got a good profit on his deals that day. Yadav then believed that the beggar he met was none other than Sant. Maharaj always protects his devotees. The experience of Dr. Kanwar next is another story. Bhau Rajaram Kanwar was transferred to Telara from the hospital at Khamgaon. Before joining at the new place with his family, he came to Shigaon. After darshan of Maharaj, he hired a bullock cart. Balabhau addressed him when he was about to start. "I request you to leave Shigaon tomorrow after the prasad. You never went away this way in all your visits on previous occasions. Moreover, today is not an auspicious date to go on a travel at any rate." Kanwar seemed to agree to half-heartedly, but left the place as pre-decided. The night was drenched in darkness deep. He missed the road after he launched on the trip and strayed into a narrow path, ending at the lake in the barren patch. The cart stopped in the woods with no one around to guide him out of unknown ground. The cartman said, "They have missed the direction." Kanwar was surprised, but understood the situation. He abused the cartman for his mistake. Thereupon the cartman said, "Don't use me like this. I go to Telara every week. As far as I think I took the right road. The bullocks too walk straight on the course. I don't know how they came to this lake. This is not the path they ever always take." Kanwar faintly guessed the cause of the event. He thought it to be the action of the Santa, as he had left Shigaon without prasad, and that to ignoring Balabhau's request. With folded hands, he implored Maharaj to protect him and show him the right path. Suddenly he heard twinkling bells of the bullocks, which lent him sufficient courage in the dark. He asked the cartman to go in that direction. This way they reached the road junction. Inquiring there, they learned that they were still in the Shigaon jurisdiction. Kanwar asked the cartman to drive back to Shigaon, where they reached in the early hours of the morn. He told Balabhau what happened on the way. He said, "Maharaj disliked their going this way. Now take prasad and go tomorrow. No one should refuse prasad before leaving this Bora. It is he who has brought your back safe. None should expect things to go always his way. Whatever the sun's wish will happen. So have faith in them and don't complain." Next day after taking prasad, Kanwar left for Telara by the right path. Person named Ratnasa, Bhausara by caste, had a year-old son sick for some time past. He had some diseases which made him weak. Many doctors administered medicines, but there was no sign of relief. He took no milk High fever made him sick. He cried all day long. Doctors declared that there was no cure at all. Ratnasa grew over the child's health. Dinkar was almost nearing death. His extremities had turned cold. Light in his eyes had dulled down most. His pulses was missing as a warning note. Ratnasa brought him to the sun samadhi and put him there near the divinity. He folded his hands and said, "Oh Maharaj, please save my child. If he survives, I will distribute sweets worth ₹5. You have blessed many devotees. I too want to experience such bounty. Kindly don't ignore me. If my child dies at your gate, it will bring you a great disgrace. People declare that the touch of your feet is like a drop of nectar. Please bless me, O protector. If my child dies at your door, I will break my head and live no more. O Gajanan, a glance of yours is like a elixir. Please look at us and save the infant." Moments later, the child moved and started crying. To devotees around, it was a miraculous thing. It was all due to the grace of Gajanan Maharaj. Darkness can never obliterate the brightness of the sun. Dinkar recovered fully as a result of absolute devotion, which had at its origin in faith and conviction. Similarly, Dada Kollatkar was blessed with a son by the boundless blessings of Sri Gajanan. Ramchandra Patil's daughter, Chandrabhaga, who was barely 16, faced a difficult time at delivery. The experience is painful for womanhood generally. As per tradition, she came from Ladega to her mother's place for delivery. After the childbirth, she was running temperature, which was declared to be a typhoid fever. She was treated by many doctors around, but the temperature never came down. She was taken to Akola for the better treatment. Each one had a different diagnosis for her ailment. There was no unanimity of opinion. All healings resulted in confusion. Patil decided to surrender to Maharaj for treatment and got holy ash and water from the sun's place. Chandrabhaga applied holy Angara to forehead and sipped holy Tirtha every day. She who couldn't walk a step could soon go to the Samadhi step. This was the effect of holy ash and water. God always blesses them who have faith in Him. Each devotee should have resolute devotion in the entity of his worship. Janki Bai, wife of Ramchandra, had to suffer from discomforts predestined for her. She had gastric trouble and stomachache. Medication did not give her a break. The ailments affected her wits, and she started acting like a lunatic. Her speech even lost clarity. At times, she lost sense of being hungry. Some said she was hunted by an evil spirit. Some others branded this as a queer disease. Some went to the extent of saying Patil as an executive had many enemies who retaliated on the family with black magic. Medical treatment brought no results. Being rich, he was exploited by many doctors. He spent a lot but got no relief for her. Tired of all this, he then said, "Gajanan Maharaj will now be my doctor Santa. My wife is his daughter-in-law. His blessing will eliminate all the ills." After her bath, every morning she circled the Samadhi. With this routine and her husband's advice, her devotion to Maharaj was not wasted. She was cured of all her ailments. Sincere services to real sons are never wasted, but they should be full of faith. After Sri Gajanan, Balabhav took his place. He performed a few miracles in the town and expired on Vaishak 6th. Of the waning moon, the Santa went into the dream of Narayan asking him to replace Balabhav. He died in Chaitra on the 6th of vaccine moon. Service to Sant is a pious achievement. This chance comes only to those with good precedents. Legends of Sri Gajanan are beyond measure, like the stars in the expanse of these heavens, beyond description of ignorant humans. The ocean of the Sant's life is unfathomable. I am just an instrument. The pen which writes, the writer has been the Sant divine. Hope these treatises bring happiness to the devotees. Sadguru Sri Gajanan Maharaj ki Jai. This English pothi was translated by Sri Shankar Pandit. Please share this video so that maximum devotees can avail Maharaj's blessings.